Lucky!
Okay, here we go, back at the Audi here. Sorry it took so long to get this far, but a lot of financial issues and that thing, opportunities to come fix that, so we have a couple videos on this one. We did the rust repair on that side there, the other side too. But this is part 2 of taking this alternator out. So this is the meat of it. Sorry, I'd kind of two-parted these. I meant to make this one right after the other, but didn't have any money for the alternator and a few other things. So, but we're rolling today, and we got all this ready to go. We got some of the coolant out because we got to disconnect this guy right here from the radiator. Let's see, that dripping son of a gun there. That's just because the drain plug is open. But we did manage to get these bolts out on the alternator here. What we did was, let's see if I can go top side here. What we did was, we cut off that little fan blade there, little guard blade for the fan, so the bolt could pass through and we can extract it. It is an 8 Allen head. That's the information I've been looking for. When I go to look for replacement bolts, they're all hex head. These are Allens. This one's a 6. This is the secondary one to pull it out. So I got both of those out. So we're gonna wiggle that thing out of there after disconnecting the coolant. We'll show you how to do that, and then hopefully we'll be driving around tonight. Happy Halloween. Alright, so we got the old alternator out. We're about to shove the new one in there. It was quite a wrestle, but it did come out of there without connecting the coolant hoses and all that good stuff. These power steering lines you can just move. They'll get out nice and out of your way for you. They're a little stiff, but they will move out of your way. So you just pull these, they go back and forth, and then this just bends in so you can slide all that out of there. Watch out for all your electronics and stuff. I loosened the bolt on this guy to help let this wiggle a little bit so that you can pull that from the bottom there. Alright, now it's time to put the new one in. Here we go. Okay, well into the night here. Because it was a fucking bitch getting that goddamn thing back in there. So what I ended up doing was actually I did disconnect that coolant line to the radiator. So I have to remember to hook that back up. Did give me a little bit of room. Other than that, it's really hard to line that first bolt up there, that main bolt right there, and then there's this other one which isn't so hard. I was able to access both of them from underneath, unless you have, you know, tiny little hands and arms. Getting in there is kind of a bitch, so go underneath. I'm starting to feel like it would have been just easier to do service position. I mean, it seems like a lot more work, but I don't think it really is at this point. I mean, the A6s it works on and all this other stuff, but this is not an A6, this is an A4 3.0. So well, it's in. My girlfriend just ran off with my battery, and my belt. So I guess this is going to be a tomorrow thing. She's off trick-or-treating with the kids, so it's time for me to open up some beers and relax on the couch. We'll continue this tomorrow. Alright people, we are at the moment of truth. Just started her up. Filled up the coolant. Made sure the oil was good. When I turned the car on, the belt started smoking, and on this side it was rubbing against the engine because that bolt, I don't know if you can see it, there it is, that bolt underneath that belt there, that's your tensioner pulley's pivot bolt. So if you have that loose, it'll send your belt right into your engine, and that will not be fun. You'll have a smoking hood. So okay, so now we got this going on, so this will probably be the next video. So I turned the car off, and it doesn't happen right away, but after a while the cooling fan will kick on, and I'm thinking that's probably what drained my battery. Now the question is it normal or not? Let's see here. Alright. See if it does it again. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But it will turn on and off intermittently. Of course, now that I have the video out, it won't be doing it. But hopefully, if I take a look at my relays and stuff, and switch some relays that aren't pertinent to the engine starting or cooling or anything like that. There it goes. So I'm thinking maybe temp sensor, get back under that goddamn manifold and take the water pump out, get the thermostat out and all that stuff, get the temp sensor done. This thing has just been a nightmare. But it's gonna come to the end eventually. Okay, so we're going to do a quick recap here. So far we've gotten a radiator in there, we've fixed the crossover pipe under the intake manifold in the valley pan, and we've replaced the alternator, the battery, radiator. I said radiator, right? Yeah. Now we got a running fan going, and we've got a few other electrical things. I just replaced the bulbs today, so that's done. So we're pretty close to stock, I think. But if I have any more major problems, like if the transmission goes out, I'm gonna find a gear and I'm gonna wrap the motherfucker around a pole. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I'd like to be at the end of this build because I have pretty cool plans for this car. But other videos, we're gonna continue to do the Volvo. I got other people's features. There's a cool CRX build. There's last video I had the intro on my buddy's BMW. We're gonna be doing that, and I'm trying to line up a couple other people. There's a guy with a RS4 I want to get on the channel too. That's a pretty cool build. He's halfway through that. So yeah, stay tuned. Misfit Rascal, baby. Peace. All right, you ready for this?
Yeah, baby. Aww. Oh yeah. Yeah, good trip. Whoa.
I couldn't hold the phone up straight. I don't know what that looked like. All right, let's bring her on home.